Jerusalem Online, I'm Mike Greenspan. Shalom, and welcome to the first of our Jerusalem Online Summer Specials, special summertime programs that bring you an in-depth perspective on some of the aspects of Israeli life we don't always have time to share with you. This week, it's birthday, 60th anniversary of Youth Aliya, the Jewish agency department that, over the years, has provided a first home to hundreds of thousands of youthful new immigrants finding their bearings in Israel. We'll bring you more background information in just a few minutes, but first, on with the show. At the recent Jewish Agency Assembly in Jerusalem, a policy-making meeting of Jewish leaders from around the world, the show was stolen by young Israelis, and what a celebration it was. The theme, the future is now, and the feeling, very, very free.
Well, hello everybody from the agency, the Jewish agency, that's the one you see.
From Aliyat we have come to stay. It's birthday, 6 years, let's celebrate. So now we're gonna take you on a different trip with kids from many countries who are hip, hip, hip.
We from Russia and Ethiopia, North and South America and Yugoslavia, from everywhere around the world. The future is here tonight. The agency is alright, alright.
Now listen everybody while we sing our song. Just put your hands together and it can't be wrong. From city, south, משקפים and קיבוצים, we're bringing you the sound you never heard before. The sound you brought to Israel, and you're bringing more.
From Albania and Ukraine, Africa and Moldavia, from everywhere around the world, the future is here tonight. The agency is alright, alright.
עכשיו על הבמה לוקחים פיקוד
ואוהבים אתכם ביחד ולחוד.
ואין מספיק מילים לומר ולתאר כאן החיים פה אין ממש עולם אחר
כי אנחנו הנוער פנינו למחר
ועם פנים כאלה
יהיה פה נהדר. From Tajikistan and Azerbaijan, Georgia and Birmingham, from everywhere around the world, the future is here tonight. The agency is alright, alright. From Tajikistan and Azerbaijan, Georgia and Birmingham, from everywhere around the world, the future is here tonight. The agency is alright, alright. Alright!
Our Jerusalem Online Summer Special look at Youth Aliya continues right after this. Jerusalem Online continues now. But before we continue with the Youth Aliya birthday celebrations, many of you must be wondering, what is this thing called Youth Aliya? Who better to provide the answers than the Director General of the Jewish Agency's Youth Aliya Department, Eli Amir. Welcome, Eli.
Shalom.
So, what is it?
Youth Aliya is a rescue organization, education, the largest residential schooling system in the world. We are taking children out of their families and out of their home. We place them in dormitories for a period between 3 up to 6 years.
Youth Aliya, as you mentioned, began as a rescue operation during World War II. And after World War II, many of those who arrived at the villages were war orphans, orphaned by the Holocaust. How did Youth Aliya take these children, with all the trauma they must have carried with them, and give them a chance at leading a normal life here in Israel?
We tried to provide them with home. with a warmth, with love, with people who will take care of them. Foster families, counselors. We placed them in the kibbutz movement at that time. Most of them were there. And the kibbutz, as you know, is a kind of large family. And we provide them with that very friendly environment and lovable environment with warmth, and we enroll them this way.
It's interesting, Eli. In other places in the world, the name orphanage conjures up negative connotations. But the people who have gone through Youth Aliya don't regard it as an orphanage. And their connotations, their memories are anything but negative. In fact, many of this country's leaders are indeed graduates of Youth Aliya.
There is something which unites all the Youth Aliya graduates, that feeling that we belong to a very big family. And we are very proud that we had that opportunity to be in Youth Aliya and to contribute to it. By the way, most of the workers in Youth Aliya, or the high officials of Youth Aliya, or the counselors of Youth Aliya, are Youth Aliya graduates.
Over the years, the Youth Aliya family has come to include fewer and fewer immigrants, at least at a certain period of time, and more native-born Israelis who had problems of a different sort that Youth Aliya tried to tackle. What were the problems?
The problems there, mainly, the families or the neighborhoods. As of 20 years ago, we started to enroll Israelis, second and third generation, who came from families in distress. And we placed them in dormitories, in youth villages, in the kibbutz movement. And this experience became one of the best educational, rehabilitational experiences in this country.
This business of immigrating to a country or growing up in a country is challenging indeed. Israel is a melting pot where Jews from Eastern backgrounds meet Jews from Western backgrounds, and there's still some questions about whether the twain will ever meet. You yourself came here in 1951 as a new immigrant from Iraq. You spent some time in a Youth Aliya school, and you have gone on, in addition to directing Youth Aliya, to write novels about that immigrant experience. Two best-selling novels, Scapegoat and Farewell to Baghdad. Try to recall for a second that gut-wrenching experience of trading one home for another. How did it affect you?
You cut your roots and you try to place yourself in an entirely different environment. You have to be an open-minded person. You have to expose yourself and to be open to get some different experiences from others, different culture, to meet with different people, and to try to communicate with them on a human basis. And it's not so easy.
Now there's a new generation of people undergoing that experience. The mass aliyah from the former Soviet Union and Ethiopia has brought them to Israel. How is Youth Aliya facing the challenge of helping them?
We are adjusting ourselves to the needs of the Russian kids and Ethiopian kids. And basically, the problems are the same problems that we faced when we came to this country.
So you're going back to the beginning?
In a way, yes. The principal basis that these two women who founded Youth Aliya, Recha Fryer and Henrietta Sold, are almost the same as it was 60 years ago.
History repeats itself. Eli Amir, Director General of Youth Aliya, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
The experience of immigration and the joy of life in a new land. They're the story behind 60 years of Youth Aliya. The Youth Aliya birthday celebrations continue just 2 minutes from now.
Jerusalem Online Headlines, I'm Carolyn Benetton. The government is promising to gear up in the fight for children's causes. According to the National Council of the Child, close to 300,000 children in Israel live below the poverty line, 30,000 of them new immigrants. Plus, many young school children must undergo the humiliation of never receiving report cards because their parents can't afford school payments, which sometimes reach $500 a year. Council representatives urge the government to invest in young children now to avoid larger costs in the future. The Wingate Sports Center is breaking new ground in sports for asthmatics. Asthma sufferers exercise in the center's specially designed facilities, unique in Israel and one of the most advanced in the world. Individuals are monitored before and after exercise and follow a specifically created sports program. Investors with foresight may want to look into a new resort being planned midway between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. It will include an 18-hole championship golf course, driving ranges, tennis courts, and cottages for rent and sale. Project partners say interest is already high, with potential investors calling from as far as Australia. And Haifa residents are thinking twice before buying a used car. Several used car dealers in that city were arrested for bribing clerks to alter registration information. According to police, the dealers resold commercially owned cars as private vehicles, which fetch much higher prices. Several hundred cars over the last 5 years were sold this way. And in our Opening Here Soon file, Tower Records, one of the world's largest music store chains, will open its first store on the Tel Aviv beachfront at an investment of $1.5 million. And not too far down the road, the latest fast food arrival, Kentucky Fried Chicken in South Tel Aviv. Planners say it's the first of 25 restaurants. And just unveiled the world-famous Hard Rock Cafe in Tel Aviv's Dizengoff Center, complete with rock memorabilia and environmentally correct paper straws, plus waiters who tell their customers to have a nice day. And I just may be on my way over. Carolyn Benetton for Jerusalem Online.
We are back, and we take you back now to the Jerusalem Theater, site of the 1993 Jewish Agency Assembly and the celebration of 60 years of Youth Aliya.
My name is Sonja Ristic from Yugoslavia, and here I am at Alnei Tzchak. It's kinda nice and kinda different. I'm still amazed at how things changed. Amazed at how my country turned into a battlefield, how my countrymen became enemies to one another. At first we thought it was a bad dream. Then I began to feel something I never felt before, a little more Jewish. I feel it much more closer to myself. I don't know how to explain it. Like home, I can say it. But really, I didn't know that it will be like that when I came. I have new friends, a new life.
We remember how it was when Tzila and Leah arrived here in Mikveh Israel, back in the mid-80s after Operation Moses. Believe me, it was weird. We'd never seen Jews like them before, and I guess they'd never seen Jews like us. Very soon they had a special job to do, helping the latest arrivals from Operation Solomon feel at home here. Tzila and Leah know just how hard it can be.
Yes, it can be hard, but for me it was pretty easy. I'm Katya Sapochnikov. I was born in Moscow. I had plenty of friends there, but when my family lit the Shabbat candles, I knew we were different. In 1991, we moved to Israel, and I began school at the Neorim Youth Village. It's a great place, but sometimes I am too busy to really enjoy everything they have here. I am studying to be a nurse. When I have time, I have plenty of people to enjoy it with. My favorite things are dancing and singing in Hebrew.
I'm Kobe Goodbye. Here at Dasam.
We've really got it together. But I didn't come from Russia. I grew up in the Jesse Cohen neighborhood in Holon. There were times when that wasn't the greater place to be from. But since Jews from around the world team up in Project Renewal, the old neighborhood's been getting better and a nicer place to live in.
Hi, I am Nir Sherman, and this is Baku. It's summer vacation here, but the kids here are really busy. They met at the school to sign up for the Jewish agency's Aliyat Hanor 93 to continue their studies in Israel.
I want to go to Israel because I want to study there, and I also want to live there after college.
I'm going to study. I study in school and then university.
I'm going to study there in medical college.
Everyone hates taking tests, but this one was to decide who would go. So everyone wanted to do well. It was their first Israeli test ever.
We've come from Israel to interview adolescents for a special project of Youth Aliya These are children who are going to be in Israel for a few years without their parents.
Usually, the people who we are dealing with them today don't give up so fast to children. But they know exactly the situation, and they know that they are in danger. So first of all, they want to accept the children, to send them out from here. And later on, the parents will come. They will not have another choice.
For me, it is more important his future than my feelings now.
While some of the kids got ready to leave for Israel, others were taking off for Siberia. Really? To a seminar for counselors in Jewish agency summer camps.
It's very important to us to make this seminar here in the area of Ural and Siberia area, which has been unknown for us for a long time. For us, unknown, young boys and girls.
Unknown kids? The Israelis were unknown too. Anyway, kids came from all sorts of places all around the CIS to get to know each other.
12 years ago, I came from Moscow to Israel. It was forbidden to teach Hebrew, to study Hebrew. So I'm happy that I have a chance to do it now. I don't know what will be tomorrow, because every day here in Russia it can change.
You see, it's the first time I have an opportunity to talk openly about my nationality.
I'm not a pupil here. I'm a participant of all this section.
I feel it's my family. Everyone understands my feelings.
Our Jerusalem Online Summer Special continues in just a moment. But first, this reminder. Our POB remains open throughout the summer for your comments, questions, and suggestions for upcoming programs. Send them to us at this address. Jerusalem Online, POB 33003, Jerusalem, Israel. That's Jerusalem Online, POB 33003 in Jerusalem. Or you can fax us at country code 972-2381-658. That's 972-2381-658. Everyone who writes receives a free Israel touring map. And when you write, remember to tell us when and on what station you watch Jerusalem Online, which continues right after this. We are back with the conclusion of the 60th anniversary celebrations for Youth Aliya. The future is now.
Mr. President, see my name up in lights, very unusual. In fact, throughout the world, there are two things that people remark to me when I'm introduced, and one of them happened as I welcomed the President. That was, what a strange or attractive English. Is it English? The second, which has to do with the theme of this evening, was Mendel. That's a peculiar name. Why not Malcolm, Mervyn, Milton? But why this Yiddish, Ivrit, Menachem Mendel from the past? And that's what we're celebrating this evening, in a sense. Bringing the past through the present to the future. Because the future is reflected in the youth of Youth Aliya, which we brought continuously over 60 years into Eretz Israel. And what a wonderful, wonderful symbol of the work of the Jewish Agency this evening has shown to be in Youth Aliya and in our youngsters.
The celebration's over, now it's time to go. The future's here, it's all hotel, but even so, because it's Aliyat Hanor 60th year, we're gonna leave you with a little souvenir.
With Kabi Oshak music, word Ehud Manor, stay Shabbat, I feel at home, and so much more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gali Atari.
בעברית ובאנגלית ישנן מילים שמחליפות צלילים. שי זה היא והיא זה הוא והוא זה מי ומי זה מי אני, מי אני. אני שואל אבל נזכר כשאני עומד ושר על ההר, not so far מן הים והמדבר, under the star of David. ואז בלב עוד יש מקום, מקום לאור, מקום לחום, מקום לחלום, והעתיד מתחיל היום. I feel at home, I feel at home. שלום. שתי שפות שונות יפות, וזו עם זאת פתאום הן מתחרזות. סונג זה שיר, אלייב זה חי, קרוב זה ניר, והשמיים סקאי עד בלי די. הכל עכשיו נראה מוכר, כשאני עומד ושר על ההר, not so far מן הים והמדבר, under the star of David. ואז בלב עוד יש מקום, מקום לאור, מקום לחום, מקום לחלום, והעתיד מתחיל היום. I feel at home, I feel at home. שלום. ואז בלב עוד יש מקום, מקום לאור, מקום לחום, מקום לחלום, והעתיד מתחיל היום. I feel at home, I feel at home. שלום, I feel at home. שלום, I feel at home. I feel at home. I feel at home.
Shalom. 60 years of Youth Aliya, a birthday celebration. And that brings us to the end of this week's Jerusalem Online Summer Special. Join me again next week for another in-depth look at the people and the stories behind the news from Israel. I'm Mike Greenspan. Shalom.